The woman set a rule for choosing her husband. Only the man who could unlock the mechanism she designed could marry her. But the night before the ceremony she secretly changed the sequence, because in her past life she told the prince the solution early. So he solved it and married her. With the Cades family's mechanical arts he fought countless battles, won great victories and eventually took the throne. But once he became king, he let a scheming woman convince him to execute her entire family. The only one who stood up for her was the duke she had never noticed. He was outnumbered and died under a rain of arrows. Heaven had mercy and gave the woman a second chance. She was reborn on the day of the husband choosing ceremony. This time she swore the prince would pay the price. At the ceremony she told the king, whoever could unlock the mechanism would be her husband. Just then the prince entered with the daughter of a traitor, and asked the king to grant him the marriage. This scene never appeared in her past life. She realized the prince had also been reborn. He insisted the scheming woman should be his consort, and arrogantly said, if the woman dared beg to marry him, she could only be a concubine. But the safety of the realm depended on the Cades family's mechanical arts, so the king refused his request. The woman agreed, and suggested the prince marry the traitor's daughter instead. She stood firm on her father's will. Only the one who unlocked the mechanism could be her husband. The prince had never actually solved it before. He toyed with the device with disdain, but no matter how he tried, nothing worked. No one else in the hall could solve it either. The woman remembered the duke who once saved her. He had solved the lock in private, but in her past life she was blinded by her obsession with the prince. The king said the duke had returned from war and drowned himself in drink, likely still lost in a drunken dream. The prince, eager to marry the scheming woman, volunteered to lead the army west. He claimed he was certain of victory. The king thought even the great duke had no full confidence against the rebels, so he granted the prince's request, and gave him the marriage he wanted. But what the king didn't know was that in the past life the prince only won because of her mechanical arts in secret. In this life the prince was doomed to fail, yet he believed he had won both the kingdom and his lover. He left proudly with her, but the woman stayed behind, waiting for someone else. Soon the duke stumbled in late and drunk. Seeing him she remembered how he shielded her with his life, and realized his true feelings. She boldly asked the king to let him try the lock. Even drunk and half awake, he solved it with ease. She kept her word, and asked the king to grant their marriage. The king gladly agreed and set the wedding for 7 days later. Outside the prince still waited to mock her, convinced she would choose him. He bragged that if she obeyed, he might visit her room more often. The duke didn't know the king had granted the marriage. Even his servants believed the woman would marry the prince. His drinking worsened day by day. He often thought of when he once sucked snake venom from her wound to save her life, and resented her for forgetting. He never knew the woman always thought the prince had saved her. She even crafted a mechanical bird as a token and gave it to him. One day the prince injured his face while playing with the scheming woman's device. He stormed in, blaming the woman, accusing her of setting traps to harm him. The scheming woman pretended to mediate but only fueled the fire. The prince ordered guards to throw her in prison for 3 days, and hinted they should take good care of her. The duke rushed to the prison when he heard. He fought his way through without mercy, and arrived just as the branding iron was about to touch her skin.